My sister-in-law asked to keep my newborn overnight. At 6 weeks postpartum, I was still learning how to sleep sitting up when my husband's sister, Talia, asked if she could take my son Everett home for the night. She had supposedly lost her own baby at 8 months a few weeks earlier. Everyone at the table went quiet, like the kind answer was obvious. I said no. I tried to be gentle. I told Talia she could visit at our house, hold him while I stayed right there, even come by during the day if she needed company. She started crying. My mother-in-law, Doreen, said I was punishing a grieving mother. My husband, Keen, squeezed my knee under the table and said one night might help her heal. The fact that he said heal, not help, made my skin prickle. After that, the pressure got steady. Doreen called every morning. Keen's Aunt Lena sent me long messages about compassion and family duty. Talia kept dropping off gifts that were too specific. The exact bottle nipples my son used, the diaper brand we had just switched to, the rash cream I had only mentioned to Keen. When I asked how she knew, she said Keen told her because she wanted to feel involved. He said that was harmless. Then Doreen brought over a therapist named Mara Pike. She did not act surprised that a stranger was in my living room asking to hold my baby. She spoke calmly and said letting Talia care for Everett in small steps could help after a late loss. Then she asked if Talia had been added to our emergency contact forms, whether she knew his feeding times, and how he did on car rides. That did not sound like grief counseling. It sounded like someone checking boxes. I looked her up after they left. No license, no practice, just a thin website made that month and a phone number tied to Doreen's address. I told Keen that was insane. He said I was spiraling because I was tired and protective. He actually called it postpartum fear. I almost believed him for one night because I hated the idea that grief had made me cruel. But the next afternoon, Talia texted asking what size pajamas Everett wore now. Not later, now. I had never told her his size. The thing that broke it open happened when I went to Talia's house to return a casserole dish. Nolan, her husband, had left the side gate open. I knocked, got no answer, and walked around back because I could hear voices in the garage. The window beside the den had no curtain. Inside was a full nursery. Not a sad room with packed away baby things. A working nursery, crib made, diapers stacked in Everett's exact size, formula on the shelf even though I breastfed and only kept one backup can at home. A white noise machine set to the same rain sound we used. Printed photos from my private account taped over the dresser. My son's name in wood letters over the crib. Notes on the wall said rash cream after bath, gas drops before bed, morning bottle if fussy. It was my child, mapped out like a move-in plan. I backed away and sat in my car shaking. Then I pulled up the clinic name from the wristband in Talia's hospital photo, the one everyone had shared when they said she lost the baby. It was not a maternity hospital. It was a same-day procedure center one town over. That night, I went through Keen's tablet while he showered. I had never snooped before. I found a family group chat with Talia, Nolan, Doreen, Lena, and Keen. They had been planning this for months. Talia had never been pregnant. The clinic photos had been staged. The lost story was step 4 because they needed a reason she would fixate on my baby without scaring people off. The rest was laid out in plain language. 5 was regular contact. 6 was supervised soothing visits so Everett got used to her. 7 was one overnight. 8 was temporary care papers if I looked overwhelmed or unstable. Keen wrote that I was exhausted enough that, with the right pressure, I would hand Everett over just to prove I was not heartless. Nolan replied that once the baby was sleeping there, they could make it look normal and move fast if I fought it. My husband had been feeding them every detail from inside my house, and the nursery was waiting for the night they took my son and called it help.